I think I'm failing psychopath.
Hi, Dan Harmon here, joined with my rascally friends.
Hey, I'm Danny Pooty.
I'm Gillian Jacobs.
And I'm Joel McHale.
Together, we form a robot that will give you commentary on this episode.
Yep.
And believe me when I say I'm the head.
I'm the forearm.
I'm the feet.
The dick.
We teeter up. In our defense, we teeter up.
This is one of my favorite episodes here. Huge fan of Goodfellas, growing up, and many other mob movies. But I think we do a great job of talking about that and having some really sweet moments as well.
I will be the first to admit there is a slight Goodfellas influence on this episode. But I will stress that it seems like nobody felt it was more of a Goodfellas spoof than the people who clearly had never seen Goodfellas. And it's because this is really more of a Scorsese homage, because there's a lot of casino elements, a lot of
Right.
and there's also a lot of Godfather
Like where you put
elements,
the
too.
guy's
It's
head in the
Coppola.
vice and kill him.
Yes. But it's generally the mafia kind of homage.
We should get Joe Pesci on the show.
Oh, that'd be good.
He hasn't been doing a lot.
What is he doing these days?
Dan?
I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Shocker.
Here we go.
Treated the animals that you were eating, you would eat them even faster just to put them out of their misery.
After this episode aired, I got so many responses on Twitter and Facebook about different people's cafeteria favorite treats.
Really?
Ice cream day, taco
Lauren
day.
Pomerantz is here.
Lauren's here?
Oh,
Yeah, I wish you could do a split screen and show like the Britta character. I mean, it's that's awesome.
Great move.
Like it's changed so much. Do you have any insight, Gillian, into what happened in your head as this character was going from the pilot to at this point we're almost done with the season and your character is now so much more comfortable and identifiable and stuff like what?
well, it was interesting because early on I did a lot of telling Jeff Winger to behave better,
Right.
you know? And it was sort of like we kind of got, we did that a lot. And then I was the butt of a joke.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, well,
Got it.
Diversify. And then I kept being the butt of the joke.
Right.
And then it became about me being humorless.
Right.
And then it became about me responding to the fact that people found me humorless. And then it became like I feel like we discovered the fact that she's petty, that she's insecure, that she's egotistical,
Right.
and that she's competitive. So all of that made... I think it was more fun for you and for me and hopefully for the audience because being, the reasonable, sensible one with no obvious flaws is not that fun after a while.
Yeah, it makes you an easy target too for anybody because it leaves it up to the audience to go, well, I don't like her. You're telling me to like her. I don't like her. So tell them not to like her. That's how you do it.
It also helps that.
So
Gillian's
that was
a
Abed
brilliant
taking a
actor.
big shit on you.
You're taking a shit on me?
That was Abed taking a big shit on you. While we
It's
were
a little bit
talking
of
about that
the
thing.
over-honesty.
Tristram Shapiro directed this.
He was great.
Lovely man.
Super British. A lot of people that meet him go, yeah, that guy's really classy. He's a really classy, smart guy. And I always try to make them really think about it and go, really imagine him talking like Rhea Perlman and saying the same things he just said to you. Do you really think he's classy? It's
not classy.
Come on, he's just British.
yeah.
I like him too, but don't endow him with.
Wanted to be in a mafia movie.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, sorry guys. I'll.
There's the Henry Hill voiceover begins.
But I don't think Rhea Perlman would do what Tristram does, where he's like, Joe, do you think maybe you'd want to try doing maybe just one where you go like, maybe you just do it like that? Just maybe, I mean, if you want to, do you want to? Like he was so polite
Yes.
about how making suggestions. I was like, Tristram, what? Why? He was like, well, just walk over there. Okay, great.
Well, first of all, and this may be a bit of a tangent, but the British are not polite. They tax you without representation.
They throw your tea into the harbor.
No, we do
threw
that.
the tea
to
into
make
the
a
harbor.
point.
Oh my
They-
lord!
What are you?
Did you
20?
go to college?
They run
Don't
your
you
country
remember?
for 200
Why would
years.
they throw tea into the harbor?
For those of you just joining us, we are
I didn't
discussing.
go to a real college.
We're discussing the British's influence on my
right.
country and my people.
So
half my country, half my people.
This is the first of, I believe, 3 montages that serve as sort of tent poles. This is the thing that to me is really cool about Scorsese movies. They're epic. They span indefinite spans of time, and you get storytelling done with voiceover, and it's cool. It's really, really fun to be able to do this for one episode of your show.
Make me look better. That was that.
Lick the table.
I
one of those
love.
takes.
I wanted to see the rest of that interview. Troy dresses a pharaoh.
Us, lines were for suckers, hacks, sheep.
There it is.
And chicken.
Those things were very greasy.
It reminds me so much. The part of Goodfellas when they're talking about robbing the airports.
Oh, I should look at Twitter questions. I didn't look for.
Do you guys remember that scene right there? Because I had to pull the chicken in front of the camera, and Kirk was running, and he
Our
was like,
camera operator.
instead of action, he would tell me to start when he would say, and chicken. And then I'd have to put the chicken in the frame.
And Kirk does this thing, our photographer, who when something happens in his shot he doesn't like, during the take he will vocally express how he feels. You'll hear,
And then it'll be like Danny, Donald, Jeff, Joel.
He can't remember our names.
Not the greatest with names.
Sounds great. I'll take 10.
You get fired. We all go back to eating like.
I wonder if there are takes where you can just hear in the background.
There was a sound guy. I think it's our new sound guy. There's a live feed to my office at Paramount because I'm what's referred to as a mogul.
Yes.
I started to like to sit behind my desk and I drink glasses of scotch, just glasses, and I try to
And
write.
then Yvette comes in. Would I take a dump in the desk?
And there's a feed to my office, and there's a point where there was a sound guy that would kind of comment on stuff. He would go he'd finish a take, and then he'd go that was a pretty good bit. And I'd just be listening to a guy just going it's funnier when he's when he comes in from the left. It's like no, it's a guy. I get it because he's like a mentor. Like who am I listening to?
I don't know.
Is it Joseph Campbell?
Now this
this is
is
so
an
great.
incident actually where you were watching on the live feed and you came down to set and had them rearrange the entire set.
Yeah,
Remember?
because it looked more like a chemistry lab and it felt more like a
It looked
kitchen.
like Enter the Dragon.
And it needed to look like a closet, I'm sure I saved the show.
I think you did.
I'm sure I didn't just make everyone
Well, I'm talking
tired.
about your, on the job, critical thinking, decision making abilities to, pull us out of.
Right, but that's Dan.
Really?
And how much he cares and how passionate he is about it.
Yeah.
He runs down whenever anything's going bad.
I'm passionate about leaving a paper trail of me peeing on everything so that I can make an arguable case that I had an effect on the show. All right.
Britta
There we go.
really wants her hair done.
Most important job of all. He was at the top. He was the boss. He was our leader.
What the hell is going on?
AV kids hooked it up.
How quickly our study group deteriorates, right? I mean, just
The golden calf is just.
see what happens with power immediately. One
Okay,
rule about
another
that
one of
monkey.
those situations. The second time I've worked with a monkey, where they go, "Do not look at the monkey.
Right.
Don't ever.
Don't
make
look
eye
at it.
contact.
Don't get near it.
It's like
don't
Happy Fun
pretend."
Ball. Remember Happy
Yeah,
Fun
it was
Ball?
like Happy Fun Ball.
I am a robot. I am programmed to love this backpack.
This is my favorite Britta thing.
And then programming them to replace auto workers.
What?
The stuff that I like is on the edge of the bell curve. I just Britta's outraged about robot
Robotic
dance.
auto worker.
She just she can muster an opinion about anything.
Wasn't there going to be a whole storyline about how I'm addicted to opinions?
Oh,
Well, here's a question from Twitter about this episode. How did you rig the study room to explode with paint? Look, let me explain something about production codes versus airing codes.
Oh.
This that's an understandable. We shot this. This is episode 123 production code, but it aired as 119. All right.
That cleared it up.
That monkey was actually in the episode, the April Fool's Day episode as well. So that was that monkey's second appearance on our show.
Was
was?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
was Abed supposed to be a perfectly reliable narrator in this episode,
Ooh, English paper.
or did part of it happen in his imagination?
Oh, here we go.
Well, smarty pants. It's not HBO. I don't know the answer to your question.
This is a really great scene, I think.
I really love
love
this scene.
Love this scene.
Yeah. It's always a treat when I get to
I
do
love the way you mix. I truly like the way you casually mix the drinks.
Yeah.
That-
Yes. I think What I like about the scene too is that board, which I don't know if you get
love
to.
that board.
Our
You
art
need to
department,
pause.
which you've heard me compliment many times,
Gabe was
this has got to
responsible for
be
this.
one of their crowning glories.
We should have taken a photo of it.
Yeah.
Do we have? I mean,
I
that should,
took a
that
photo
should go
of
in
mine.
that should go in the DVD.
Well, it should be on my wall. It exists somewhere.
Yeah, but it's such an honest. I mean, it's really honest about every character's real needs.
You have no idea how much of a tradition it is, like the art department trying to like jump in on the comedy business and like it's just you having to give notes and stuff like that. I literally never once this art department in the entire run of the show never had a single note.
Yeah.
Like quite the contrary. I like seek guidance from them. I read stuff like that on the wall and I go, good idea.
Remember when there was actually a description of the scene in the call sheet which made its way into this episode where it said that Abed was drunk on chicken power?
Yeah.
And you read that and then you wrote it into, you gave that line to
Who is
Jeff.
it? Who does?
I think that was Mike, our first AD, who wrote that. He was very proud.
I always look forward to scenes with Joel in the room, and I think this is kind of a fun scene because both of us are kind of battling for the power of the group a little bit.
Yeah. I look forward to scenes with you and Chevy because it's nice not to look down all the time.
Ooh.
At the shortest cast in history.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
How tall are you, Joel?
6'4".
I drank 6
That's
root beer floats
abnormally
that
tall,
day.
okay? That's not like average height.
Agreed.
Yeah. And Chevy's also 6'4", right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's got to be hard for you.
Yeah, but he's 375 pounds.
There's there's a little bit of a snafu, a little glitchy poo that you might enjoy. It's something to do with that sign over Jeff's shoulder.
Respect the
A bing bong.
Wait, it aired like that?
Respect the animal of continuity, for it will bite you.
Dan, there's another one of those in this episode
And
as
it's
well.
back.
Yeah.
There's the chicken finger one as well.
Annie is fantastic in this scene. I love the phone call that she makes, the message she leaves.
I like your shirt in this episode.
We did a lot of experimenting with Annie, blossoming her. She goes through her hippie Vaughn thing, and it's like, and I kept panicking. I was like, well, yeah, but what we like about Annie is, the little girl, little fuss budget, little Tracy flick. This is a great example of how she can grow up and can continue to be Annie, like going into adulthood.
Yeah.
He's not picking up. What did you do with him?
I don't believe it. People turned out to be. I'm not going to stand here and be...
To be able to love someone that you want to strangle.
Abed, Jeff says you're not listening to him. Does that mean we shouldn't listen to him either? Oh, also, should we make special jackets for our crime family, like blazers with chicken finger patches?
What a great idea for a crime family.
I don't know. Long message. I mean, one thing that's worth noting, so you always sacrifice something to gain anything. In this episode, we're sacrificing a little bit of believability with the group. We're tracking Jeff and Abed. The rest of you guys are very cartoony. And Anthony Russo pointed that out because he works hard to point out things that are wrong after the fact. He just needs to make sure that I know that he's smart. And he is. And he had a really good point. Which is that the rest of you guys are so like you're so unified in your movement, like you all just become absolutely corrupted immediately, and you move as one unit, and that's not usually the case. This is the heat scene between.
Maybe not. The question is
Dino Starburns, who started off one scene maybe in a Spanish classroom and ends up being everyone's favorite character.
Key to the kitchen. There's a valve on the back of the chicken fryer.
I got to edit.
Why did he nail the word valve?
So great.
Valve.
Valve.
That's called genius. You can't, why question it?
Why not?
I like it.
How petty do you think I am?
I think there was a line that said pretty petty before they got cut.
Yeah, it was a variety of stuff. I sat with Jeff Groth, and we cut together a variety of those scenes. The great thing about the end of the season is I got nothing else to do but edit. I can sit there and drive the editors nuts.
But the family's success started to go to their heads.
They didn't have college ruled?
No, sorry.
It's okay.
Ooh.
Abed?
Yeah.
Can I talk to you?
Hey,
And
He
Chevy
still hasn't learned to pronounce your name.
He's wearing an Ed Hardy hat.
Wearing his Ed Hardy.
It's Travis.
I think he liked that hat.
I think he did too.
That was McKenna's idea, I think, right? The Ed Hardy hat.
Travis is his...
He's shrugging outside.
By Travis. No, you go by the door.
See you, Travis.
By the way, Chevy loved kicking that guy out of the room.
You know, you can buy an Ed Hardy shower curtain at Bed Bath & Beyond that costs close to $100.
You can buy Ed Hardy Chardonnay.
What?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Troy's in the... Fat. Lazy. I'd given them everything, and somehow I'd lost their respect. So I did the only thing I could think of. I did what I thought Jeff would do. I sent them a message.
A lot of this voiceover, by the way, was done after the episode, and so we had to time it kind of perfectly. So we had to go out to the barn somewhere in Sun Valley to do it.
How much did it cost to buy this song?
Yeah.
I don't know the dollar amount. It's expensive. It's, you know, with you get an episodic budget. It's like you have a music budget, and I'll pull a number out of my butt. It's like if you want a moderately like well-known song, you pay $50,000 to put it in your episode, basically. And you've got a budget that goes away real fast. So every time you want a little treat like this, you got to spend it from somewhere else.
You know, I wish you had put just one little vignette here where you showed a mafia guy frozen in a meat locker, dead.
Yeah.
Well, that was what the backpack was supposed to be, and we argued endlessly about the order of this stuff. The backpack's really supposed to be Carmine in the cooler, but whatever.
No, I really wanted a corpse.
I know what you want.
Why didn't you do that for me?
Because
it would have made no sense. I know, it would have been stupid. Okay.
From a chicken, and Tyler Perry has a whole series of movies about why that's wrong.
That little Arab is off his rocker.
He released Annie's boobs. Annie's boobs could be anywhere. Annie's boobs could be on the side of the road. It. The monkey's name.
Great name for the monkey.
What you don't know is that Annie's boobs is actually in Shirley's hair for this scene. We had to cut out a part where it turns 12 o'clock and you hear a cuckoo and Annie's boobs comes. There's a door that opens in Shirley's hair, and Annie's boobs comes out and hits a bell 12 times.
And didn't Annie's boobs get lost in the hair? And
yeah, it
was
Annie's
lost
boobs
for like
was
a day.
writing to the ensemble and going, I don't know where I am. I don't know how much longer I have to walk in one direction. I parked in one of 4 directions. I mean,
the power's back, Joel.
That was a cool discovery on the set. It would probably take 20 minutes to explain, but that wasn't in the script that he's this Fonzie power that he has. We kind of discovered that on set. And sometimes when you write as haphazardly as I did this season.
This was not shot outside.
This scene right here is one of my favorite scenes of the season.
Yeah.
It was very enjoyable.
There was a first draft of the scene where you actually, like, at a certain point go, I don't know what you're talking about. Like for real, like you actually lose your cool. I was like, well, yeah, it's probably not. You don't want Abed to do.
But I was close. I just need a new food, a new system. I'm gonna experiment with jalapeno poppers next, and then zucchini circles.
I don't get it.
Zucchini circles. Zucchini circles.
I think it's zupas.
Zupas is soup, Polish.
Si, duża dupa.
And there is a 16 Candles homage coming up.
This is a kind of finale scene with an arc goes season long between these two characters. These are the two. This is a very important relationship.
I think they reveal a lot about each other here.
Jeff is cut off from people. So is Abed, but Jeff has a preternatural ability to manipulate people, which Abed covets because he has a neurological inability to do so. So this is really very, very important here. These are the two halves of the writer. One side is overly empathic and like suffering from it and selfish, and the other side is all messed up from something that happened in the womb.
Is that why our skin tones are exactly the same?
They're merging.
You were very tan.
Yeah, how did you get so tan there? A little Jersey Shore action. Huh?
How dare you? I'm not orange. I'm tan. They began after I was naked in the first 12 episodes. I just started spray tanning.
Shout out to Pam.
Pam.
I think you should just be pale and Irish. I mean,
that would drive viewers away because you can see the veins and the blood pulse.
Yeah, because everyone hates Nicole Kidman. She's so hard to look at.
I'll put on a leather jacket and make out with an aerobics instructor. You pull around front and comedically startle passersby with your ability to talk.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
He thinks the guy that isn't autistic is a car. All right, strike that from the commentary.
Also, kind of like a callback to Heat Vision and Jack.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Somewhat for the sake of the family.
There it
but
is.
mostly for the sake of Jeff's ego.
Boy, how many chicken fingers and onion rings did we eat in this scene, Joel? Again, we're getting sick
Oh
eating
my
things.
Lord, it was painful. I remember going, do we have to eat the breading?
This should crush you right here. He's like Henry Hill going back into witness protection. Abed is receding back to a spectator of life.
Richard
And Eric Charles Nielsen.
But you know what they'll never make a replacement for?
And here, you'll also see the chicken fingers disappear.
Friends.
Okay, thank you. That's great, Abed. But could you just answer the question?
What was it?
Do you know who might have stolen a box of hairnets from the kitchen?
Oh, no
Bam.
chicken fingers.
I'm gonna write that down.
What if Abed originally farts there? There's a big fart.
This was a fun tag.
We had to do a lot of computer-generated corrections to this. No way. This gag did not play out. Like, we had to add a shirt. Like, I'll explain what happened. I think
You could add a shirt to this, but you couldn't add the signs back in that
we
other
didn't
scene.
notice the signs. We didn't notice the signs until it was too late.
I got babies.
Because the gag is not clear. Like, it's hard to watch two guys go down and then come back up. You know, and know that they changed clothes. So we had to make that clear. That was a computer shirt.
Oh, nice.
And then he realizes, oh, we're gay.